God, remember those tumultuous times from 2017, all the way through 2020 with all of those wars that were going. Oh, wait, no, none of the wars that were going on under Trump. Oh, but it was such a tumultuous time because, Trump was, he was just a pawn of the Russian government. Oh, okay, cool. And that he would just let Putin run wild with all of his expansionist endeavors out there. Oh, wait, no, none of that shit happened until Biden took office? Oh, fuck. Well, he's just cleaning up all of those disasters that Trump was running. Oh, my God. He was just letting Putin run wild in the Ukraine. He was letting Putin run wild all over Eastern Europe, trying to reassemble the Soviet Union. No, actually, it was almost like Trump had to tamp that down because if you remember famously during the debates between Barack Obama and Mitt Romney in 2012 when Barack said, oh, stop worrying about Russia. Admit the 1980s called, and they want their foreign policy back. If you want a more recent example of how the Democrats have been trying to go to war with Russia for a long time, Hillary Clinton was talking about the exact same stuff. Okay, saber rattling with Putin during the 2016 debates, talking about no-fly zone and wanting to stand up to Putin because he's just an evil Russian dictator, even though most of the people in Russia actually like Putin, and that whole Navalny gimmick was just a fucking big psyop from mainstream outlets to make it seem like Putin is just this really awful guy. Not to say that he probably hasn't, it had some people offed, but at the same time, he has an overwhelming approval rating, and Navalny never topped out anywhere near the fucking double digits. But all right, cool. You go ahead and you selectively trust mainstream media when it comes to that stuff. Oh, Navalny's so popular. Cool. That's why nobody in Russia actually knows who he is. But whatever. It looks like 2022, on top of Biden failing at everything, is going to be starting a new war. And we're just fucking running all of this stuff back to, I guess, when he was in his, sixth term as being a senator, back to the 1980s, going to war with Russia. Of course. Biden orders 8,500 troops, more troops that even recalled from Afghanistan. Because there were how many left on the ground? 5,000-ish? But yeah, no, ordering 8,500 U.S. troops to prepare to deploy. So, no, he hasn't made the call yet, and no, he's not working for freedom and liberty or whatever the fucking spin on this shit is going to be. He's going to reignite the Cold War and turn it into a hot war all over, Ukraine? They can handle themselves. I don't know. I don't know what you're doing here. I don't get it. Prepare to deploy to Eastern Europe to fend off Russia. President could send up to 50,000 soldiers to NATO allies. Over Ukraine invasion fears, activate 50,000 fucking troops for stupid ass NATO. Doesn't this kind of sound like a European problem, not a U.S. problem? Okay. And then by extrapolation, a Canada problem too, because we'll be sending over some people as well. So unfucking believable. But no mean tweets, right, guys? Biden administration is ordering 8,500 U.S.-based troops to stand ready to deploy to Eastern Europe, the Pentagon announced on Monday. No, this isn't coming from like a source from inside the White House. Okay, CNN reports. Okay, this is coming from the fucking Pentagon. Get your shit ready. Start packing because we're heading out probably, I don't know, end of the month. Sounds about right, okay? Listen. Everything's going wrong for us. The economy's slow and sluggish. What do we need? Probably war will probably help that, and it's helped before with every other administration. So yeah, no, this one just couldn't be stopped. Okay, Trump was just too soft on Putin, and he was just marshaling his forces, and that's just the inevitable climax of this. Okay, if Trump wasn't just such a Russian pawn, okay, if he wasn't Putin's little puppet, he wouldn't have had all of the forces available and just ready for him to take back the Ukraine. Even though it's been in the works for a long fucking time at this point, but whatever. They'll find a way to spin it to blame Trump on this one. Just get ready for that one. This is really about getting folks ready to go. Yeah, no, that's what you mean by just telling 8,500 people to get ready to go, that it is about getting ready to go. Good one, John Kirby, tard. During a press conference this afternoon, he said a majority of those troops would be ground forces. What are you getting ready for? Why do you need so many forces? I don't get it. He said they would stand ready in case NATO activities and NATO response force are a deteriorating security environment. Okay, there's not a mission per se. Then why are you activating so many troops? This is about Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. Oh, thank God he recovered, even though he was triple jabbed from that bout with COVID. Thank God he's fine. Wanting to get ahead of a potential activation and making sure these units have time to prepare, Kirby told reporters. NATO response force is comprised of some 40,000 international troops. Most of them are, what, American forces? Okay, let's be fucking honest here, but it's NATO. Stop being the world police. Unless it's Russia, then everybody, I'm sure Twitter's probably just aligned with fucking simps out there. I'm sure that's probably what those talking points are anyways. Fight off Putin, he's a tyrant, or some dumb shit like that. Kirby said the move was sending a strong message that we're committed to NATO and committed to ensuring our allies have the capabilities they need in case they need to defend themselves. Why are you worried about being the world police at this point? Everything's been fucking pulled back, okay? Trump didn't have to do this, okay? 4 fucking years apiece, okay? He was out there saying, he was getting ahead of all this shit. He was saying that, yeah, you fuck around, you're gonna find out. And then everybody's like, yeah, he probably means it. And what's what's Biden saying to Xi's puppet, right? Nah, I don't really buy that. Just China buys Joe. Biden would hear about fires and thinking about breaking out the marshmallows and graham crackers. Kirby stressed the troops are currently on heightened alert posture and have no plans to deploy at this time. Yeah, right now, though. It is just up Monday afternoon, so things could change probably by Tuesday morning. The bulk of them would be dedicated to the NRF to be activated if called upon by Western Defensive Coalition, but added that Austin wanted the 8,500 troops to be postured for any other contingencies as well. A vast majority of those standby troops will be active duty service members. Though Kirby did not rule out the possibility of getting reserve forces assembled as well. So yeah, you 8,500, you're just the first ones, okay? But we're not really planning anything, so don't worry about that. Even though we're already setting up plans to activate even more. Fucking weird, huh? Austin ordered the troops to stand by ready to deploy at the direction of the commander-in-chief. Isn't that fucking frightening? Joe Biden. Kirby said the units will be flagged for possible deployment to Eastern Europe, would be notified and announced in the near future. Cool. It is very clear the Russians have no intention right now of de-escalating. Yeah, that sounds like a peaceful resolutions are on the horizon here. Do not say whether all troops would be under NATO's direct control. I'm sure they will be. It's not like they want to actually do anything or, you know, take the initiative on this, but sure, whatever. They would ultimately be under the command of NATO's Supreme Allied Commander. That sounds terrifying. In Europe, General Todd, with only one D, it got reclamated by the middle name D. Walters. They would all be reporting up underneath him, but what exactly the chain of command would be, it's difficult for me to say. Haven't even been activated. Yeah, exactly. No, but just get ready, though. It's not like there's any plans or anything, but here's the grid work, okay? Here's how everything's going to go down, if in fact everything does happen. That's all right. Speaking of which, China's probably going to be doing the same thing with Taiwan. And a couple of weeks ago, Biden was saying, or at least, you know, one of his mouthpieces was saying, oh, if China does anything with Taiwan, oh, we have Taiwan's back in some form or fashion. They were talking there. So you got Russia, theoretically, I guess, okay, looking at reclaiming the Ukraine, okay, and they have China looking at taking over Taiwan again. But Biden was, he's a strong leader who's going to take care of all of this stuff, and Trump was being reckless when all of this stuff wasn't happening under his watch. Weird, huh? Taiwan responds as China sends 39 military aircraft into its air defense ID zone. Yep, this is the return to normalcy, right? Senseless, endless wars in the middle of fucking nowhere to watch all of your friends and family members die for what? Some empty-headed old chia pet? Hair as fake as his smile? What are we doing here? That's alright. Once all these conflicts finally get snuffed out, that's alright. In the aftermath of all this stuff, it's not like the reigning party, which was initially snuffed out. It's not like they come back even stronger than before, right? Right? Well, the Taliban, okay, now because they're fully in charge of Afghanistan, even though they were the United States government was going to work with them, okay, even though they hustled them out on their own time frame. But no, the Taliban is demanding the release of $10 billion frozen by the United States and Europe when they're going to be needing that money the most. And why would you be giving back and listening to the demands of the Taliban? Oh, probably because they're verified on Twitter and then you get those notifications. Oh, okay. The Taliban kicked off their first meeting with Western officials since taking over Afghanistan. Just simply taking over Afghanistan. It was like a peaceful election that happened. They just ended up winning. Okay, they sufficiently fortified their takeover of Afghanistan. Everything was fine, right? It's not like 13 people didn't get blown up at the airport and hundreds more got injured. No, it was just a successful takeover and a peaceful transfer of power, right? The Americans left, and then the Taliban just came right back in. Now they're making demands of the world. Unfucking believable. Demanding the release of $10 billion in assets frozen by the United States and European countries. Meetings aimed at stemming the rising humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan. Which one's that? The ones where women are actually treated, not like how these activists claim, like women are treated so badly in these Western countries. No, the ones where they're actually like stoned to death and not allowed to go to school or really voice an opinion at all whatsoever. Is that the humanitarian crisis you're talking about, or the ones where you just have to watch your step outside of skyscrapers because there's so many queers flying off the roofs? You know, those ones, that humanitarian crisis, something like that. But yeah, they had the Sunday closed door meeting in a hotel in Oslo, Norway. We are requesting them to unfreeze Afghan assets and not punish ordinary Afghans because of the political discourse. Taliban delegate, I don't know, whatever this Uber driver told the Associated Press Sunday night, because of the starvation. Oh, okay, cool. No, but I thought you guys were the better group to be in charge of your government, of the country, right? You were so much better than that stooge pigeon that was still. Has anybody even made contact with the former president of Afghanistan? The one who fled with so many fucking luxury cars and billions of American taxpayer dollars? You'd almost mistake him for a trust fund kid. No, the Taliban. Remember, the Taliban was going to take over and restore the glory of great Afghanistan, but some couple of months later, they're already starving and punishing the citizens. Huh, weird. Oh, yeah. It's a deadly winter, so climate change. If you dumb, dirty, capitalist, pig Americans would figure out the climate change, we wouldn't have such deadly winter. I think it is time for the international community to support Afghans, not punish them because of their political disputes. That's cute. That's cute that they can have an entire delegation that just can sit down, even though they're just, noted war criminals. And it's just fine. It's fucking clown world. As whoever that is, a part of the Taliban's all-male delegation. Well, yes, these are only people. These are our decision makers. You guys listen to women? That's stupid. And look at this. They're so cucked on the other side that they got fucking headscarves from one woman who's actually on the U.S.-European side. Unfucking believable. Said the 3 days of meetings with the officials from the U.S., France, Britain, Germany, Italy, and the European Union and Norway were a step to legitimize the Afghan terrorist government. A ruthless Islamist group took over the government in Afghanistan after marching into the capital of Kabul on August 15th as the Biden administration scrambled to evacuate U.S. citizens and their Afghan allies. No, they had a plan. Joe had a plan. Well, actually, Trump had a plan, and it was working until Biden decided, no, I want to make history. I want to do this because September 20th anniversary of September 11th coming up, and I want everybody out by then. Oh, what's that? We don't really have a plan. We're just kind of taking people all willy-nilly. That's all right. We recovered nicely, and all of the Americans are out of Afghanistan. No, wait, they're still there. Fuck. Listen to some of this, just a little bit more, just going to show that Biden's failures, even when they are complete, they continue to compound by just making them look stupid over and over again. Norwegian Foreign Minister Anneki Hudefeld, whatever, insisted the talks were not a legitimization or a recognition of the Taliban. Why are you holding closed door meetings with many other heads of states or secretary of states or delegates from legitimate countries, legitimate as much as the European Union is legitimate in my eyes? You're sitting down with them and a whole bunch of other Taliban delegates, but these aren't legitimate talks. Okay, cool. So legitimate, in fact, that you partook in a headdress. Interesting. As we seek to address humanitarian crisis together with allies, partners, and relief organizations, we will continue clear-eyed diplomacy with the Taliban. These aren't legitimate talks, by the way. Regarding our concerns and our abiding interest in a stable, rights-respecting, and inclusive Afghanistan, Tom West, what a retard, the special representative for Afghanistan, who is leading the U.S. contingent, said on Twitter. Yeah, a virtue signal there. I'm sure you'll get a lot of people not deaded then. I look forward to similar talks like this in the future with many Russian leaders when they're talking about the legitimacy of the Ukrainian gulag, when you have American delegations on the other side of the table and they're going to have to listen to the moralization of these neo-Soviets saying, well, how can you talk about the gulag when you have such terrible conditions in places like Baltimore and Los Angeles. Have you seen homeless encampments down there? It's despicable. How can you talk like that? But that's apparently what 81 million people voted for. Apparently. But let's shift gears a bit, because talking about Biden and his policies make me want to go back to the motherland. Let's talk about some dead cops that were shot dead by insane people, but it's not the insane people to blame on this one. It's the guns and the influx of guns, illegal guns, right, that did all the shooting. Sure. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.